Ooh.
with like a stick through the middle of it.
Do you cook like rice and stuff in there with it, or other? What do you put in with the chicken?
It's just like a piece of chicken wrapped in like a leaf that you just it just has like an extra you can cook it on a barbecue basically, or grill it.
Cool.
And it's just like a one bite snack thing, but you can make a big pot of it, and definitely would have it with rice with like some kind of like I don't know. It seems like it'd be really good to have some kind of like Asian barbecue sauce with it, or like maybe hoisin or something. I don't know. Something like that would be quite nice with it, but I haven't tried. Usually whenever I have chicken pandam, it's just on its own, just as a snack in a barbecue. And while everyone else is having snags and burgers and stuff, which I also appreciate. I like to have something like a little bit extra, just something different.
Sounds delicious, man. I do want to say a little bit of a sorry. I always do this, and especially when we're just talking about all this nice food, and there's like a bunch of Europeans who are watching in bed right now, and they're like, now I need to get up and have a snack. Thanks, guys. No worries, guys. We're here to make you hungry and tease you a little bit. Big thanks, Sora, for that sub before as well. Guys, we are getting into the first semifinal. It's a TvT. This man up here, of course, recently, a bit of a surprise upset, I would say, getting eliminated from GSL in this very same matchup. In the red, it is the one and only Special. The one and only.
The Juan. Takes Juan to no Juan. And in the bottom left here, the slayer of many Pro Tour weeklies. He is Clem from Team Liquid. And there are, I feel like, too many accolades to talk about right now for Clem. He's been winning too many tournaments, too many finals. He's qualifying for too many things. Like, it's hard to keep up.
He's a beast. We did see Clem eliminated last week by Goblin, and I think even Goblin was a bit surprised. Kind of laughing in the chat afterwards and going, that's crazy. He's like, yeah, I think Terrans are really confused about how to play against 2-star Phoenix. This is wild. I just beat Clem. I'm sure Clem wasn't too happy about it. I do like that Clem blocked the command center. Look at that. Special actually had to place that off center a little. Going to force a little lifty lift, slight disruption.
Yeah, it's a second or two here and there. It's obviously a mirror matchup, and not only that, it's against one of the best players on the entire planet. So every second counts. Reaper and SCV of Clem waiting to the north side here for a little bit of an ambush.
It's Frodo the Reaper, and that is a Gimli SCV there. He says, "And my drill!" And he's going to try to use a drill to hit a dude with a jetpack and 2 pistols. So I admire the bravery, Gimli SCV. Let's go.
And my drill. Get in there. I mean, he is taking the fire of the Reaper, but now it's 2 Reapers against the 1 for Clem. So he's going to have to tap out. See you, mate.
See you, mate. An infamous saying from the Australian esports community. It's what you say to say, get the fuck out. It's the offensive GG of the Counter-Strike community here in Australia, is see you, mate.
That's right. Is the offensive GG, like when some people are saying, get out of my game, or the offensive GG, we say, see you, dickhead, or see you, mate.
Yeah.
It's usually the offensive GG in Australia.
So Hellion out for both sides. High ground control goes to Special. He sees the Hellion coming, and he says, come up here and play, buddy. Nice engage here for Special. Oh, wait. Really? As if not take that fight. You have the high ground advantage. You could also focus fire the Hellion and then withdraw, because the Hellion doesn't heal. I don't know why Special backed off there. Weird choice. His Reaper was slightly low on the hit points, so just being very careful is Special right now.
Yeah. So he's just holding on to that watchtower here. Special's units. He does have the bigger force for a second, but Clem's reinforcement Hellion. It's a bit more extra damage on those Hellions of Special, which are a little bit low. He targets one down. Don't know if he'll be able to bust this high ground, though.
Yeah, another Hellion comes out here. So Clem started the engagement really well and still does end up ahead with that. Of course, 150 resources ahead. You can see there in the units lost 2 Hellions, 2 Reapers going down on Special side. Just 2 Reapers and an SCV for Clem. And the Hellions are the better unit as the game goes on. They've got a few more hit points. You can turn them into even Hellbats later, but they've just got a bit more mobility. Obviously, they don't heal themselves, but still a very good pickup. And after that, the way you normally compare positions in these games is you look at Raven. Who's got the Ravens and the tanks out faster? So the first Raven is popping here for Clem. Meanwhile, the Raven is out earlier for Special, but there was a delay on his second Raven starting up. So energy advantage does go to Special. His third CC is quite far ahead right now. So definitely looks like Special's going to be playing the defensive stature.
Yeah, this is... I mean, even though we haven't seen a lot of TY recently since his GSL group, and he hasn't been playing a ton of other tournaments. They are still so similar, and this is something that TY historically has been liking to do in this matchup, is the faster third CC, being a little bit more defensive with the tanks and the Ravens, and just sort of chilling. You can push with it, but generally players like TY especially are just going to use their Ravens for auto-turret harassment and just chill.
Clem has not missed a beat with his Marine production. So he's going to have a real strong push timing, swapping off after 2 Ravens. So I think with that second tank coming out, he pushes across this map. And the thing is, Special's not missing a beat on his tech unit production. Other than the hiccup on the second Raven, he's got a tank out, he's got a second tank. You know, he basically cut the early Marines, the least useful unit. They're this kind of generic slow unit that does a bit of everything to get that fast third CC. Means he can't really attack as much, but he's going to use that Raven to try and threaten on the other side. Does pull back from the Cyclone. The other Raven comes in on the natural at the same time. How many kills is that? Just 2 and a bit of mining time.
Nearly 3. Clem bringing those SCVs back a little early. And yeah, the Cyclone in the main deflects the second Raven, so it's not as bad as it could have been for Clem, but it is damage. Just energy for damage. It's fine.
Main base. That Raven is going to go down, though. So good micro by Clem. Gets the Cyclone out of there. Total of 6 SCVs go down. The Viking doesn't quite get the Raven on the top side.
And going for 4 SCVs with that second Raven from Special and losing it to the Cyclone, I feel like isn't worth. Maybe you just tried to dive a little bit there.
Bit of mining time as well. So
that is true.
There's an argument for it, but I'm on your side as well, where it's like I was already talking about the tank push coming out. So I think if Clem pushes across right now, and he's got non-stop Viking production, your Ravens, and you know what? Special's building Vikings, but he's just going to have less of them. So he really needs his Cyclone, his Marines to get some attacks on the enemy air units, because he's way down on Raven energy and way down on that Viking count.
He's also down on tanks and Marines. Like, his ground army needs to utilize terrain and also be pre-sieged here against Clem. He wants to win this upcoming engagement.
The Cyclone, he was relying on that, seeing the push. He was not expecting Clem to rotate to the north side. He's going to be caught with his pants down. Special
here.
Yeah,
scouting Marine of Clem, clearing the path.
Yeah, he's going to be blindsided. He's got a big SCV advantage right now to Special. Clem's got to do some damage here. Interference Matrix auto turret spam goes down. Oh my god, the Ravens of Special just disappear. His Cyclone gets F2'd back through the tank shots, and Clem here getting a beautiful position.
Yeah, this looks really rough for Special. He's got those Vikings, sure, but the Vikings got no targets at the moment, and all those tanks are in range of Special's third. Gets that scan, and he forces the lift here. Special evacuating, pulling as many SCVs back as he can. Just trying to buy time to get up his upgrades. Special is going towards 1-1 upgrades. He almost has Stim. Obviously, Clem's had that for a little while. And I think Clem's happy with this, because especially considering that everything from Special is on this side of the map, and meanwhile, Clem's third is just chicken away. He's got 16 SCVs, full in. Ooh. Clem's looking good.
Another tank rallies into its doom there for Special. A big mistake. And Clem here. Ooh, he wants to pounce. He'd love to get rid of that sensor tower as well, actually. I wouldn't mind him killing that, even with just a Cyclone lock on or something. He's going to siege in front of it. Clem already with a big advantageous position. Of course, a desperation counterattack going across the map here for Special. He's going to try and stim those Marines into Clem's third. Clem doesn't have any units there right now. Just one Hellion.
This is a nice play. This is expensive for Special, but it's desperate, and it might just work. He goes for the third base. Clem's units, not anything here that can deal with that many Marines. No tanks.
Oh no, his Marines got baited on the other side. Special's Vikings do go a little bit too deep though, but oh my god, that tank on the high ground, the saving grace here. A lot of SCVs fall, but Clem, oh no, his SCVs!
Oh no, Clem loses 15 SCVs here. What an incredible counterattack there from Special. Keep in mind that his third is back to running again. Clem sending his units back a little bit too quickly here, losing a few more Marines. He does get that tank medevac down to low ground, deals with the counterattack of Special, but I gotta say, man, that counterattack of Special looked a little bit questionable, but it was super worth it. A gamble that absolutely paid off for the Terran.
Oh, this Raven baiting these Vikings. Oh my! Special!
Silly Vikings, chase me.
Oh my god, Special. That's a very bad move. He loses 5 Vikings, doesn't even get the Raven. Clem's control over these little skirmishes, his poise in the face of what is a very weird and awkward scenario is so impressive. Special's going to slide a drop down the left-hand side. He's going to thread the needle. Dodges Clem's army. He should barely dodge the Watchtower vision as well. We'll keep our eyes here on Clem's vision. Yeah, Clem gets a glimpse of that medevac for a second, but I don't think he notices. He does have a tank sieged up, though.
Yeah, it seems like he's kind of ready for it. I mean, you can just splash damage your own SCVs to death here with something like this.
Yep.
Special sending the medevac through. Clem's got those Marines defensively, so he stims them on in. It feels like Special's counterattack drop is mostly dealt with. Clem also doing some SCV damage to Special here with his drop tucked right between the third and the natural.
The armory is delayed for Clem, so big advantage on that +2 upgrade attack for Special. His +2 armor starting now as well. Oh, great evac on the left-hand side for Clem. Realizing, wait a second, he can clear this up. I don't want to lose 5 tanks, a Raven, and a Cyclone. These are valuable units, man. He's going to bring those back, join up, and start to consolidate his forces. And that's a very good move by Clem. Still keeping that 3 hit point Cyclone and that 14 hit point Raven alive.
Yeah, they've been through some shit, man. They've survived. They got some stories from the front line, but they're coming home.
Yeah, mostly Viking kills.
He's been really keeping on top of these upgrades. His special is definitely looking good in that regard, especially as far as attack goes. Look how much further +2 attack is versus the 2-2 of Clem, which is just married up here.
Nice command center timings for both of them. They're both kind of resetting. So fascinating how modern TvT, finding your footing in the chaos, involves just continuing to hit all of your macro. The way Clem was trying to land the third and go back to mining while there was still a pack of Marines there, it's like, it just shows the viewpoint of it's like, you can make these attacks, these harassments, but it's always the macro behind it that leads to the victory. You're never really going all in on one move unless the game gets to a very weird position. It's just all these little positional jabs trying to kind of deny one of your opponent's bases for a little bit while your bases continue to expand across the map, while you continue to macro like a beast. And this drop in the back here for Special is going to pick off a couple of SCVs. Nice pickup, bit of a disruption.
And true to white fashion, Special has been prioritizing workers and upgrades over everything here. He's got 80 against the 65 of Clem. So he's fourth, desperately needed here for that saturation. It's up, it's running. Clem moving with an attack, caught by a scan though. Special moves his forces to intercept.
All right, the drop on the bottom of Special is finally going to get caught. Flies over a Cyclone and a few Marines. We see that army of Special thinking of going for an ambitious move.
Yeah, I think he's rethinking that.
Oh, Clem is diving for that top base. Clem will not be perturbed here. He's trying to hold this middle ground with just 2 tanks and a small pack of Marines.
Special cut off his forces. Clem's cutting him in half.
Oh, that's a brilliant maneuver. He rotates. We thought he was going for the 4th. Special thought he was going for the 4th. And now the tank's wedged between 2 bases. And this is a very awkward position. It's so hard for Special to deal with this. He's got to make sure he doesn't bleed into this location.
He's bleeding some units here. Now, Special does have the upgrade advantage for a second here. There's Marines. Liberators just going to death here against those Marines. And Special from the south losing a lot to Clem's siege tanks. In come his Ravens.
Oh my god.
For the tank line of the third base of Special.
Oh my god.
Amazing for Clem.
This is such nice play from Clem, just dropping those cuck matrices like there's no tomorrow. The tank's just standing, looking as those Marines just had their way with their comrades. And the drop's going to try and reinforce the southern base here. The tanks have now stabilized. Such a shame those 2 Liberators went in. I love the way Clem pretended he was going up to attack the planetary and then just immediately pulled back with his Marines. Overcommitting into that would have been a really bad choice. His tanks are now sieging very far forward. Special should be able to clear this up.
Yeah, he will be able to. I think those 2 tanks of Clem that went a little bit closer are going to go down. His Raven will finally get picked off. There is a triple drop from Clem, though, which I think is going to the main of Special. He's got 1 turret and 1 tank in there, Pig.
That tank's got a lot of work to do, and it is exposed. The Marines are there. Oh, his production's kind of walling him out of his base a little bit. Luckily, he does stim quickly and even snaps one of the medevacs.
Yeah, good defense there from Special. It looked a little bit dicey, but Special actually handled it like a boss. Counterattack from Special, just Marines. This is not a planetary just yet, so this command center actually might die here.
Yep, that is going down. Special doesn't want to lose the Marines, though. He's going to have to pull back here. Remember, the upgrades right now, 3-2 in favor against 2-2 for Special. Special in favor, sorry. So up 1 attack upgrade. Clem on the way with 3-3. Neither side has +2 vehicle weapons yet. Both of them starting to posture down here. He's just going to go for it. Wow. Special's had enough.
He's going for it, man. He smells blood in the water, and I think it was the right call. He gets through the entire tank line of Clem right there. And Clem's got some tanks up on the high ground, but his presence in the middle of the map is gone. He's got a drop on the other side. That's a planetary, though, and he cannot crack that with just Marines.
He's going to go in. There's a tank and a few Marines sieged. Special is safe. He is solid on the D. And Clem's Marines on the front, not going to be able to catch those tanks unsieged. Right now, the 3-3 upgrades, the +2 vehicle weapons. There will be an upgrade lead for Clem in about a minute, but he's down 10 SCVs, and he is also on equal base count, but there's more command centers going down for Special. Special, his macro has been unstopped this whole time. He's just had more money to play with, and he has managed to weather all of these kind of stabbing attacks that Clem's gone for. None of them has sealed the deal.
Yeah, Special's got a very exposed third base, but of course Clem has got everything on the back line here. He's only got a handful of Marines out on the map. He is very, very, very scared of this attack from Special. Special's had that +3 attack advantage for a while against Clem's units. Clem's about to have 3-3 on his Marines, so he'll have the upgrade advantage for a little bit. Vikings coming a little bit forward just to see what he's up against. And this is very dicey here for the French Terran. One bad engagement here, and the game will end.
Clem now has +2 vehicle weapons, a very important upgrade. It's going to allow him to one-shot Marines after they've stimmed. It also means these siege tanks are going to go from 3-shotting enemy siege tanks down to 2-shotting them, which is super powerful. So the tanks are better than Specials for a little while. Specials +2 is very far away. Oh, no! Oh, man. That choke point. That choke point is so deadly.
Yeah, this map just saved Clem right there. There's a lot of Marines and tanks there from Special that were just diving. Speaking of diving, he's going to go for the drop here, but Clem's Vikings and Marines moving to intercept. Special thinks twice, pulls back.
I love that he scanned ahead. Special not getting overeager, still being methodical. Oh, he knows there's no planetary, pulls forward, sets up for the siege, pulls back and says, you cannot get that base, mate. And you know what? There's a Raven transition behind it. How cool is that? We've got the Corvid reactor, just kidding.
Yeah, the
on the way.
reactor.
Yeah, it's powered by pure virus. It does give them extra energy, of course. More auto turrets, more interference matrices. The tank's doing well. The Marines on the north side do clean up the Marines. And you know what? Clem, he's kind of cornered a little bit. He does get this base up, it seems, for now. The Special's taking 2 bases at the same time. He's still up 14 workers. The Ravens are going to give him sick cost efficiency in the long term. So the longer this game goes, it looks like Special is going to be more solid and more efficient. I still think Clem is such a vicious player tactically that there's always a chance for him to just catch you out of position, catch you with your Marines, and then get on top of your production.
I actually kind of prefer what Clem's doing here, going for more starports and getting up, air advantage. Like getting a lot more Vikings going into Liberators. We've got Clem with an engagement over here, trying to split those Marines against the tanks of Special. Does he have enough firepower to actually clean them up? I feel like he doesn't. No. At least not without his own tanks for support.
He does push back Special's counter on the right-hand side. Special said, oh, if you feel confident breaking 5 siege tanks, surely this side's undefended. Went down, took 3 tank shots, a lib shot, and went, nope, 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 nope. I'm pulling out of there. Oh, he looks back at the other fight. He's like, oh, yeah, you actually couldn't break that. Okay, that was just a bad attack from you, Clem. It's one of those things sometimes you go, oh, if you're pushing here, you can't have here elsewhere covered. There's a push and pull, but gets a little bit complicated doing all the maths on that. Special looking for the rotate here.
And Special is going to stem on into these tanks of Clem, which were caught on siege. That's a lot of Marines here from Special, and he has an interference matrices. Down they go. The tanks of Clem have been taken out of the equation, and these Marines with a lovely
concave. My God, that planetary's going down for showsies. Clem's planetary, Master Perry's trying to hang on. At the same time, Clem counterattacking on the other side of the map. He's slowly whittling down one of Special's bases, but Special is shoving in deep.
Yeah, he's erasing Clem from the map here, and those Vikings are now a liability as they don't have a ground army to protect them anymore. Those Marines are just stepping on in. That is an orbital with 23 SCVs on the mineral line and 6 SCVs on those gases. That's a lot of SCVs of Clem right here, which are left exposed to Juanito to counterattack.
A great maneuver here by Special, using those Ravens to help break the tank lines. You know, I normally find the Ravens a bit of a complicated unit to use, but Special has showed how to use them fantastically. He's also going to come forward. Clem, those tanks are shooting the planetary. Meanwhile, Special's 2 tanks clean them up.
Yeah. Clem's going for the big drop there on top of the tanks. Special's reinforcement Marines seem to be enough to keep it up, though, and the planetary survives. Special's big attack through that third base looks like it's starting to run out of steam, but it's safe to say that he's done crippling damage to Clem.
Yeah, Clem pushed in and tried to get the tanks on the 5th of Special, but Special's got that whole top corner of the map on lockdown now. 74 SCVs to 45. Equal upgrades on both sides. I guess Special is going to catch up in the +3 vehicle weapons in a moment. Does help out with your splash damage a fair bit there. And Liberator harassed for Clem. Desperately going to try and hit this top base and go, oh, what the hell? You've even got the corner.
Oh, man. The interference rate sees the tanks once again just removed from the battle. And these Marines of Special just clean up the house, man. There is too much medevac support, too many Marines. And Clem's tanks just never seem to get any shots off. This one is going to get a few volleys, but Special just with way too many units. I think he's going to crush through here and take gun one shortly.
Dude, I love the way the Ravens just opened up the mobility there again for Special. It felt like Clem was a bit ahead in those early stages ever since that push that forced the third base to lift up. But it's an interesting pattern we see here where Clem is such an aggressive Terran. And, I mean, we saw the same thing with his match against Innovation at Stay-at-Home Story Cup where he keeps trying to attack these just rock-solid Terran players. And it looks like it's going okay, and it's going okay. And at a certain point, it feels like his blade gets blunted, you know? It's just like these guys just weather enough punches and are so solid at getting up the fourth, getting up the fifth. Non-stop building SCVs, and Special just had more money at some point and did manage to overwhelm him. So very well played by both sides, but I hope we get another match as back and forth as that one.
Well, we're getting two of these standard maps here back-to-back, going from Eternal Empire, which is mostly standard, to Everdream, which is quite standard.
Oh, apparently Artosis actually won the poker tournament he was up all night playing.
Yeah,
I loaded my stream up this morning.
way.
I was getting everything set up, and I was like, why is Artosis live when I'm up in the morning? It is like, if I'm up, because that's like 6:20 in the morning for me. That means it's 5:20 in Korea for him. I'm like, he's been up all night playing this poker tournament. What the hell?
Yeah, no, I saw that he was, like last night when I went to bed, I saw that he was getting up at 3, like going to bed early and getting up at 3 in the morning Korea time. So it's like 4 for us to play in the poker thing. He won it? Because he's with Roddy as well. Roddy's also playing.
Really? I didn't realize. That's super cool, man. Talented humans, StarCraft players. Very talented. It's actually insane. You see all these people so successful. You know what? Let's intro the players quickly, and then I want to tell you a little story. Up here in the top right, in the red, it is Special.
He's currently on match point against this fine gentleman in the bottom left who keeps winning these weekly cups. Didn't win AU, but NA is his stomping ground. He's won the last couple. It is Clem from Team Liquid. Actually, who won the last one? I wasn't casting last week. I was bedridden. You were casting it. I was watching you.
Goblin won the first 2 games against Euthermal, and then Euthermia reversaled 3-2.
Right, that's right.
Yeah. Goblin got a bit excited, unfortunately. It was very late for both of them, but it was very cool games up to that point. And even the finals, even though they were a little one-sided, it was still very fun to have that story of Euthermal clawing his way back. And, you know, he kept trying to proxy, and Goblin was just swatting down the proxies. And Euthermal had to start playing a more normal, chilled out game plan, and he was doing these brutal the Marine tank Banshee pushes where you come and build bunkers against the Protoss, and then you go third CC behind it, and like very late second and third barracks and stim and shields, but just that push, Goblin could not handle it. It got to the point where he even handled it, I think, in the final game, but then he just like played way too conservatively after shutting it down, and Euthermal kind of got his way back in. It was a very fun back and forth series, but oh yeah, quick story time before this game gets out of control. So,
oh my God.
Do you remember Bielsko from your hometown?
I do, yes. The 4-gate boy.
The 4-gate boy, and the guy who also did the Bielsko build. Do you remember the Bielsko build?
I remember the name, but I forget. It is a very special Bielsko thing.
He would wall off his natural with a Nexus before taking, and then he would build a Nexus there. So it was a macro wall Nexus.
Oh my God.
And so he dropped into my charity stream last week, which was very cool. I haven't heard of him in forever. Dropped $2,000 to support Feeding America, the charity we were raising money for.
That's insane.
And I was like, dude, what the hell? You must what's going on? And he said he's like working for Google now, and he's just he's been watching a bit of StarCraft again and stuff. And because he was the highest donator in the stream, we played a few TvTs at the end of the stream. And yeah, we were doing, and I did like the Nexus wall off and won a PvP with it as well on the ladder to say thanks to him. And I was like, I can't believe this is working. I found these old VODs of him playing Targa and shit, and was showing them the stream. Oh
my God.
But just another story of like an old school, Wings of Liberty pro down here in Australia. One of the best Protoss players who got,
I haven't heard of him for like 9 years.
Yeah, exactly. I was like, man,
Yeah.
how cool is that blast from the past? One day I do dream of us getting, because everyone's also successful with their real life jobs now and stuff, as we call them. You know, they're out there doing all sorts of different things, and it's so cool to hear all their stories. But it would be awesome to have like an old school Aussie tournament one day. You know, get like Rossi and Igars, get Death down, get
Hell
get
yeah, man.
T-Gun, get Glade down, of course. Get the old crew, get Light and everybody. It would be cool to see what everyone's doing these days.
We had that big like $2,000 or $1,500 LAN in Adelaide one time. It'd be sick to have that again. I'd be down with that.
Arena land.
The arena. That's right.
Or actually, there was one down at an event as well. Yeah, there was a few different Adelaide. I came to Adelaide twice, I think.
So we're going full tastosis here. Haven't talked about the game just yet, but let's start.
Spectacular hold from Special.
Yes.
Getting the command center finish and the SCV to the high ground, and then buying time for the Hellions. That's a big win against the slower expansion of Clem. So Clem's gone for the double gas opening, really quick Reaper Hellion pressure, and if that can delay the command center, pick off a few SCVs, it's like massive. It's massive for the aggressive player. As it is, Clem didn't lose units, so he's just behind in SCVs, has a few more units on the map. But a very nice hold, and definitely advantage goes to Special here.
Yeah, so, I mean, TvT really is... It's so prevalent for Terrans to just go for that double gas opener because it is so safe, and you just don't know what your opponent's up to. And then you can have some pushes later on. You can still have a pretty solid early game army, as Clem showed us. But if you can get away with that one gas expand, you are laughing in TvT. Oh, that's a wall of units here, but Special does not care. He's got 6 Hellions. He just rolls through that front line. That Cyclone needs to be respected, though.
Yeah. Cyclone does well. The Hellion would love to kill this red hit point Hellion. You can tell Clem's like, come back. Good hold by Clem there. Overall, he is leading in the units lost, and his Hellion has more hit points. Get out of there, Special. What are you doing, buddy? Auto turret
he loses
harass.
those 6 Hellions. Okay, that's what he's worried about there.
I was like, where'd the Raven go? I was like, this Hellion is like purposefully baiting these units. I don't know. He's got to be doing something. But the Raven dives again. That's kind of what put him behind in the last game, the Raven dive, right? Do you build a Viking after this second Raven just to kill that now that it's cornered?
I would, because I don't have the APM or the minimap awareness to handle Raven harassment while going amongst my build. So I would interrupt my build to make a single Viking here.
For sure, I would as well. I'd be like, nah, no way. Am I just letting you chill there, man? Same thing if I know there's a Warp Prism on the map against a Protoss. Like I watch these pro players who just don't build a Viking. They're like, no, I'll just respond.
Like Clem is seeing this Raven roll in, and he's just like, oh, the auto turret is actually an Ultralisk. It just sits there and takes all my damage and still kills SCVs because he just targets fires. So yeah, you gotta get rid of it.
Gets the Viking. Leave! Those who don't know, that Viking pilot is actually screeching that as it hunts this Raven down.
That's what I say to like Dark Templar base tradie Protosses. A scream, leave! And you're up 4 bases and they just won't leave because they're like taking Nexi in the corner of the map and just making more DTs, remaking the Twilight Council after you kill it.
I have 1 Disruptor and 4 DTs on the map. I got a chance.
No! I'm trying to put on a show here. People are watching. Leave! But yeah.
That's where you got to start offensive mana muling a bit more. Oh, ambush in the middle of the map. Oh,
in the bushes. Who's in the bushes? Juanito is.
Oh, Clem actually gets the Cyclone and gets his out on 1 hit point. Clem is a god.
I feel like Clem, you know that ad for StarCraft 2 where they say you can't buy units, better units? StarCraft 2. Like, Dad, I keep getting wrecked. How do I buy better units? I think Clem actually bought better units. Like, it feels like if StarCraft 2 was a mobile game, he's one of those whales that just bought like 10,000 gems and upgraded all these Raven cards, these Marine cards to just be stronger.
Oh my god, this is a great push as well. Catching those 2 tanks sieged in the middle of nowhere. Special, I think he did need to retreat from there. He was a bit disjointed, and that's a lovely little trade for Clem. And now I feel like Clem can just rotate a bit. That's a cute move from Special. Does pick off the low hit point Viking, bullies him back a little. Viking advantage. It's even on the units tab, but because Special's a bit more altogether, he does have more anti-air here right at this moment.
It's actually very similar to Game 1, not with this engagement, but very similar to Game 1 in the sense that Special is going for a lot of Vikings and air control, and he is also getting faster upgrades versus Clem, who's like delaying them quite a bit just to have a few more units and that third base kicking in.
There's a lot of tanks. 4 versus 1 here. Second tank rallying down. Special's got to consolidate his D right now.
Tuck your D in.
Tuck it in. He's got to keep those tanks together. 2 versus 4, man. You got to get your numbers together in this next fight. And he's got to also keep track. He doesn't know if Clem went to the right or to the left. And Clem, of course, always going to be the movement master. He's going to be the guy who likes to flow around this map and find weakness in his opponent.
Gets the Raven, at least one of the Ravens. Yeah, the Raven's a little bit low in energy, so it doesn't really matter anyway. Here comes the reinforcement Vikings from Clem. It's 4v3 at the moment as far as the air units go. No one extra Viking there from the south from Special, but Clem's winning the air battle, and that means these tanks are going to start having a little bit extra range as well. Special forced to burn scans, which he doesn't really have that many.
Yeah, he does not have a 4th CC or anything like that. We're not that deep in the game. He's been non-stop on the macro again, always ahead in SCVs. He's going to do the same little Marine run by he tried last game, but Clem, I think, has learned his lesson. He's not rallying across the map anymore. He's like, dude, I'm in range of your command center. Like, this is fine. This is good. I am happy with this position. And whenever he wants, he can drop a scan if he needs, get a few more hits on that. Upgrade-wise, it looks like the armory is a bit more on time this round for Clem. So he fell behind on upgrades in that previous game, and it was a problem for him.
I think that Clem actually is...
Oh, Clem missed this.
Prepared. He's not looking at the minimap.
They walked right past his army.
Yeah.
And they just... Oh, damn. Clem was focused on the front. Special, I think, purposefully did a little bit of reacting with his Vikings there and pulled his attention away at that moment. He just said, hey, look
so
over here.
Damage.
Oh, and double drop to the main as well.
Yeah, Special just did the, watch my hands while my other hand's doing something else, the magician trick. And now you see me plays there from Special. And all of a sudden, Clem loses 15 SCVs. His economy is in tatters compared to Special. And this double drop seeks to exacerbate the problem here for Clem, is that if that drop gets in the main without Clem having anything there, he's going to be in big trouble. I mean, he does have a sense tower, so he'll have early warning, but is he looking at the minimap this time?
He does have a tank at the 3rd. Hopefully that can deal with the Marines. He's still sieging that 3rd. He's attacking Special's 4th. The tank will defend up at the 3rd base. It quickly unsieges the main base. He's got a tank about to pop out. It needs to siege up this main base quickly. The Marines doing massive damage. Clem going to try to push in on the right-hand side, but Special is there and ready. He is holding on at home. Does some nice bits of damage. A big disruption. Gets a reactor or two. Does slow down Clem. Clem here, he wants to find weakness, but I feel like Special is just so comfortable in this defensive stance. He doesn't mind losing all this money on repair because his economy has been just much more fluid throughout. He did lose the 4th command center that was building on location, though. Clem did get that good snipe.
Yeah, a lot of Marines here from Clem, so he does actually push back the Special Marines in the middle of the map. But as the dust settles, who are we liking right here? I feel like with the extra 16 SCVs...
Yeah, faster upgrades slightly. I mean, his production hasn't been touched, right? So
he's very oversaturated, though, on 3 bases, so it's not like this big worker lead is that huge.
Yeah. I mean, there's still a big army out for Clem, so this can still go either way. I think there's a slight advantage for Special. If he had that 4th command center finishing right now, I'd say he's in an insane position. But remember, no sensor towers, no turrets up for Special. He's got like 1 turret on the top of his main, and that's it. His lib's going to come in. Clem, though, quick reactions now. He's using those sensor towers. And you know what? The harassment of Special is not finding as much damage as it did. Those sensor towers are really paying off here for Clem.
Yeah, they certainly are. I mean, they weren't earlier because he just wasn't looking at the minimap. But the thought is what counts, right? That's how you win StarCraft.
Yeah, and 3 tank advantage to Clem.
Oh, this around.
Oh, no, just
no,
a slow
Clem.
siege. If he sieged quicker, he would have been okay, but Special with a big boy move just comes down, wraps around, and cleans that up. And you know what? Clem, as always, answers aggression with his own counter-aggression. He's going to jump on that naked 3rd. Can he get his defense up at home? Special's going to dive for the heart of the production. A quick evac at home for Special. Both sides trying to protect their production right now. Clem, he's got the Marines. He's got 1 tank. Is it enough?
A bit of a choke point for Special, but he does come on through. His tanks are just A-moving here. Clem's got a bit of a concave of Marines. Special sees these tanks. Does he have enough firepower to actually get through? He may.
Oh my god, the hot pickup at the last second was sick, but at the same time, Special's 2 tanks just cleansed Clem's Marines on the other side of the map. Some of them pick up and do get out, but a lot of his units died. So both sides taking blows here. Both of them avoiding catastrophe with a quick scramble to defend their natural production. And we see here a little bit of an ambush kind of setting up for Clem. He might want to just pull closed on this. He's going to go for it.
Yeah, going for a bit of a surround. That's a lot of tanks here from Special. 5 siege tanks.
Ooh, too many.
Special
Too many.
Fires through the surround there.
Yeah.
That move from Clem, I think, just cost him this game.
Yeah, Clem felt like he was getting strangled out of this game. He knew there was going to be another reinforce coming across the map, so he said, it's now or never. Let's break this army, and then I can reestablish control. Of course, it was a misjudgment. It was an error. He was already in the inferior position, though. Special, building advantage after advantage, and is going to actually crush through Clem with the 2-0. Hot damn.
Wow. And it feels weird to call that an upset, so I'm not going to. Because Special is such a legit Terran, and every now and then you forget because there's boys like Clem just grabbing everyone's attention, and they get all the hype, they get all the momentum, but you can never forget that Special is one of the strongest foreign Terrans ever in the history of StarCraft.
I would say I'm a little surprised that it was a 2-0, but like you can't really, oh man, wow, Special beat someone? It's like, well, if it's not Maru or, you know, Innovation, it's like, I mean, maybe those are the only two players I'd say who are favored versus Special and TvT right now. So awesome win for him. Great win by Special. Some awesome maneuvers, of course. Next up is going to be
Drogo Bly.
Drogo Bly on EU. So we're hopping over there, guys. That's going to be a fun PvZ. Now, we've seen Drogo crush, and sometimes he gets crushed, right? Sometimes his games can be a lot more one-sided. One way or the other, I find. He's very much a razor's edge Protoss, relies on very good execution, expects it from himself, expects himself to have good reads, and especially playing against Bly, who's always going to try and trick him. I'm curious to see how the games play out. I don't expect long back and forth matches. I expect a bit of stabby stab from both sides.
Yeah, we're just trying to get the lobby up here on EU. Drogo is not here, so we just need that second player. Bly, of course, is waiting in the wings, as he often is. If it's not burrowed underground with banelings or in the bushes, Bly is waiting in the lobby.
Is he already in that? Did you say?
I don't think so. Doesn't look like it, according